it every Monday. It's a 2-hour meeting, and we allow at least, not at least, a maximum of 3 artists to come in and present their music to the guys. It's very organized, very structured, but it's something that I felt that we needed to do, because trying to build a relationship with a DJ at 1 o'clock in the morning in the DJ booth with music playing, girls next to him, liquor, smoke, a crowd, the manager of the club trying to get in, people calling them from the door, hey, I'm outside. Like, there's not a whole lot you can really say or do to really make a lasting impression on a DJ at that point. So I wanted to do something outside of the club during the daytime where the guys are still, they're not worried about rushing to get to work. Their day is pretty much done. They're free. They're around each other. They're comfortable. They're sitting down. We're eating, and we allow artists to come in and present it in that mode where they can ask the DJs questions, get feedback. The DJs can ask them questions. They can truly introduce themselves, give out Twitter information, Instagram information, where they're from, kind of give their story, so that now the relationship is a little more personal. Because at the end of the day, when you come in the club, you're just a record. You know, you're just some guy with a CD in his hand and offering to buy a drink, or hey, here's 20 bucks in my CD. Like, you blend in with every other face in the club. When you come in here, the guys can really put a face with an MP3. You know, so it's just a lot more, kind of personal environment. And we close the door so that when we give that negative feedback, it's not the artist in front of other artists or whatever. Because that's really what it was intended to avoid. Because a lot of times, especially when somebody comes out of DJ rudely at 1 o'clock in the morning, DJ's like, he'll stop the music and say something crazy, and now the guy's like, oh man, you put me on the spot in the middle of this club and you just embarrassed me. And you know what kind of tension that can cause, especially amongst men. And so it's like, no, we can tell you in the privacy of our little circle, look, I don't think that song is the one. Maybe it's a mixing issue, maybe it's a mastering issue, maybe it's a production issue. Maybe you should just quit rapping. But we can say that in these 4 walls and not on a mic, in front of 600 people. I just tell people, like, look, bring some food for the guys, and like I say, they're DJs. Like, you want to do something for them, do something to kind of leave an impression. And the only reason I even instituted that was because even when we first started doing the meetings, it became a situation where people would come in, play their records, and then leave. And I noticed that even that wasn't really leaving much of an impression. It was kind of like, hey, I'm so-and-so, here's my record, it's called this, they push play. And artists have a terrible habit of really being blah a lot of times. And there's very few exceptions to that rule where somebody walks in and you're like, I don't know who he is, but he does something. These artists that come in and they're very plain, and it's like, yo, like, you should come in trying to sell yourself. Like, you're a car, you're a brand new shiny Mercedes, you gotta get this off. Like, you can't come here and do that. So when I started bring food, it was kind of like, here's something that you can kind of equate with who I am, but it's just weird. It's weird how it comes across, because even now, when I say, just bring the guys something, each 10 of us, do whatever, somebody, they all bring the typical thing, wings, pizza, whatever the case may be. But you'll have that 1 or 2 artists who are special anyway, that will come in and bring something that's like, wow, like you spent some money. Or just something that's so left field, you're like, I'll never forget this guy, because he brought in something that he knew we wasn't going to eat that. But it's like, we'll never forget that guy. So you have to do these certain things. Like, we've had guys bring in steak and shrimp. We've had guys bring in Ciroc and Hennessy and random, stuff that they got sponsorships on. And it's like, those are the things that you need to kind of really make people remember who you are, because it's difficult to do so in a business that's so cluttered, in a city that's so cluttered, full of people who rap, produce, sing, dance, A&R, manage, whatever the case may be. So you got to stand out. With my guys, the #1 mistake is people coming in and saying, oh man, I got this strip club record. And we try to remind people all the time, like, those days of having a quote-unquote strip club record are over with. You don't have to have a song that's pop your pussy, shake your ass for it to be a quote-unquote strip club record. I'm on one. The Drake Khaled record was one of the biggest records in strip club at one point, and that's not a strip club record. I Ain't Got No Worries. A lot of the Rick Ross records, the John Doe's, a lot of the Jeezy records, they weren't Bend Over, Pop It, Bust It, those records. Like, and I think that guys will have great records and then they won't play them for us because they're trying to play the quote-unquote stripper record. Oh my God, and they'll play these records for us. They'll play the first song. It's like, yeah, this song is called On That Pole, and we're like, okay. And on that poll might even be an okay song, but then they'll play some other song. We're like, that's the record. Why would you not play that for us, or why did you wait to play that fourth? Because, you know, we only give them a certain amount of time. We're like, well, you got about time to play about 3 to 5 records. And we're like, why would you play that last? That's your record. Well, you know, man, I know y'all in the strip club. We'd be like, no, but that's your record. So that's the number one mistake people make, trying to make strip club records, cliche strip club records.